Tommy Moore, Director of Golf at The Hills, and I need 3 minutes to change your golf life. Today, we're going to go over some pace of play hints that'll help you keep pace and stay ahead while you're playing golf, and some game improvement and course etiquette items that I think everyone needs to know about. We're on the cart path, and my ball is out there in the middle of the fairway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my yardage from the cart path right here. So as I shoot it and get the yardage I'm thinking about, it turns out that it's 150 yards. So I'm 150 yards from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3 clubs. I'm going to grab my 150 club because that's the yardage it's giving me. But I'm also going to grab 1 club more, which would be my 160, and 1 club less, which is my 140. And in doing so, that'll give me 3 clubs to take out to the middle of the fairway. If you do this practice and you make this a common practice, this will shave at least 3 minutes off this shot right here. So I'm going to grab my 150, my 160, and my 140. And you know what else I'm going to take? The sand bottle with me. I'll meet you out in the middle of the fairway. We are in the fairway, and I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I brought 3 clubs. I brought my 150 club, which is what I gunned from the cart path, and I brought an extra and 1 less. So we have an 8, a 9, and a wedge. So what we're going to do is confirm exactly how far am I from here, my actual ball. Okay, look at that. Good thing I brought an extra club. I'm getting 155. I'm getting 155 slightly uphill, so I feel comfortable at 160, which is an 8-iron. So good thing that I grabbed 1 extra club, because if I didn't have it, I'd have to walk back to the cart, come back out here, then execute the shot. That's going to add about 3 or 4 minutes. So good thing I grabbed 1 extra, where 160 is a comfortable number for me. So I'm going to hit that shot. Let's see what happens. Hit a pretty good shot. So happy I took the 8-iron. But here's a course care item I'd like to discuss. As you can see, we have made a divot. And we have the sand bottle because I said, make sure you bring out the sand bottle every time you head out to the fairway, especially when we're cart path only. But I'm going to fill this. And I want you to see the correct way of filling it. So I'm going to fill it in such a manner that it's flattened by my foot and we have a nice flat area here. Let's make sure we bring the sand bottle out, but we just want to make it a thin, flat layer, and we can do that with our foot. You do that, that'll help our course come back that much sooner. Thank you. We're still cart path only. I've hit my shot, but I want you to see something. Now, I purposely missed the green and came up short, just so we can talk about this piece of play again. So if you look, we've driven all the way around the back of the green. And my ball is short in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the green. I'm going to play my ball. And what that's going to allow me to do is to check out the green undulations and see what the shot that I'm faced with is going to give me. Great game improvement tip. All great players walk their shot off from both sides, especially on the short game and always with putting. So as I'm walking through, I'm taking into account undulations of the green, where the pin is located, and everything that's going on with the next shot ahead of me. Tip number 2 was to drive the cart all the way to the back of the green, even though I came up short and I'm about 10 or 15 yards off the front of the green. And again, game improvement tip is as I walk down to my shot, I'm taking into account pin location, green undulations, and I'm seeing what I'm being faced with. Again, all great players look at every angle that when they're faced with a short game shot. So I'm going to walk out and go see my ball right there short of the green. See you in a little bit. Not too bad. So what I noticed was that from my chip, leaving it short there in front of the green, that it was a little right to left. I'm not unhappy with the leave. It's a good leave, but I noticed the green undulations and what the green was going to do because I drove it all the way around the back and walked across the green. So again, the 2 pace of play tips we did today are: make sure you bring not only the club you think you need, but one more and one less from your actual location on the fairway or rough or wherever you might be. 2, always take the cart around to the far back of the green and then walk to your ball that might be short of the green. Now, the game improvement one was, the tip was that as I'm walking to that ball, I'm taking into account all the undulations, all the subtleties of the shot that's ahead of me. All good players do that. Now we're going to teach you on how to fix a ball mark correctly. I'll meet you at the back of the green. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we pat it down. That shrinks the diameter. So when we go in there and we pat it down with our putter, it will shrink the diameter. And then what we do is when we use our divot tool, we move from the outside in. Outside in. We never insert it in and lift up. That is not how we repair a ball mark. We push it in and go forward, shrinking the diameter even more. Again, we pat it down one last time. You can see that we have got a ball mark here on the green. We know that's commonplace. That's going to happen. But here's the best way to fix a ball mark. The first thing I do is I come up when I get it and I tap it down immediately. If you can see, the diameter all of a sudden starts to shrink. So whenever I have a ball mark, before I use my divot tool and before I get in there to fix it, the first thing I do is I step up and I'll pat it down every time. As you can see, that diameter has shrunk a little bit. So that is one of the first things I do every time I see a ball mark. The second thing is when we're using our divot tool, we work around the diameter of the pitch mark, of the ball mark, and what we do is when we insert our divot tool in, we push forward, okay? We push forward, we push forward, we push forward, we push forward, and in doing so, we close the diameter even more, and we tap it again, and it's almost done. I'm just going to come back in one more time. I'm going to get this pitch mark, and I'm going to make sure that I'm moving the diameter in on itself, and voila. Now, what's important to look at is, here's an incorrect ball mark fixed, and here's an incorrect ball mark fixed, and you can see what happens. A correctly repaired ball mark will heal in 24 hours. With the irrigation and Mother Nature doing her thing and the temps, a correctly repaired ball mark will repair itself in 24 hours. A ball mark left unattended, unrepaired, will be a blemish on the green for 2 to 3 weeks. So it's really, really super important that not only when we come up to the green that we're looking to repair our own ball mark, because I know none of you miss greens, so I know you'll be fixing them all the time. And if you see any others that were left unattended, let's get those too. With irrigation, the wonderful temps here, and Mother Nature and sun, that'll be repaired in 24 hours. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today. This is super important. Not only do we fix our own ball mark, but we've got to fix 2 or 3 others if we see it. Now let's go finish up on how to rake a bunker, and we'll call it a day. So, as you can see, I just hit a shot here from the fairway bunker, and now I'm going to go over the correct way to rake it. Now, there's some really good intention behind raking a bunker, and I've seen it out here on the course, but I'm going to use the word heavy-handed to describe how I drop the rake into the bunker and then pull. And you can see I'm being very heavy-handed here, and what I'm doing is I'm creating some ridges that really don't need, if you look, to be, yes, and I've seen this here. So we're going to look at this more carefully now, and you can see that there's a ridge. There's a ridge from the initial drop of the bunker, the bunker rake in here. Now, the guy behind you is going to be a little happy, the player behind you, that you did rake it and get rid of the footprints. However, if that player comes to rest in these ridges right here, he's going to be a little unhappy. So we're going to go away from the heavy-handed And what we're going to do is we're going to make more of a gentle sweep. And as I sweep the sand away, you can see the ridges are going away now. And I'm not creating these very deep ridges that really will penalize a player and not give them the best lie. So as I work through this, you can see I'm just taking an effort to really make sure I spread it out nice and that I'm staying away from creating any ridges. And now, if a player comes in here, he's certainly going to be happy that the person in front of him knew how to rake a bunker. So, like I said, I've seen great intention out here at the hills on raking bunkers. Let's get away from the heavy-handed, the dropping of the rake, the pulling the sand aggressively. It's creating too many ridges. We want to be gentle. We want to spread it out. If you look down again as we pan down, you could see this is a great spot to land if I'm in a bunker. So, folks, thank you for everything. Again, the course is a living, breathing creature, and we've got to take care of it. And today we just touched on a few course care items and some pace of play items and a game improvement item. And we'll continue this series. We'll do some pro tips. We're going to do everything golf. So if you have a question, certainly email me. Tell me the video you'd like to see. But I want to thank you for your time. It is an honor to serve as your director of golf here at the Hills. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I'm very excited. We'll see you soon. I'll see you around the club. Thank you.